you made the decision after all the years to, wrap up the time on the beloved home of General Hospital. And, I know it wasn't easy. You're working with the cast for so long. They're like family and dear friends, and people love you in that role and they know you in that role. And it was such a huge part of your life, Chad. Um, but things, come and go and you move on and when the time is right and you felt it was right. And there were things, in your life, a newborn baby. And I know you've talked about it with your father having passed last year as well. And again, deep condolences on that. And so a lot of things coming to fruition at the same time. And then just you having the feeling it was time to, maybe tackle on some new projects and go head in. Tell us about some of that.
Oh yeah, I mean, really, I a large part of what I wanted to do was just have a bit of a reset. I feel like I've been kind of on the same comfortable, safe path for a long time, and you start to get a little um, burnt out, and uh, your passion and everything. It's like you need to kind of find a way to fill your cup back up again because it was kind of getting on a little bit empty. That's what it felt like. On top of that, I was just things going on in my own life, and I just needed to clear my head and like he's saying reset. That's really what it is. I felt a little bit like I don't know, creatively, artistically. I want to say flatlined. It was just more. It just felt like routine more so than creative um expression like I crave, I guess. But that's anyone's that's my own a lot of times it's your own way. You got to find it yourself no matter where you are. But sometimes you need to kind of take a reset to find it. And some people can do it in the same place that they're at. Not everyone is the same, and what I needed to do was just yeah, step away, reset, find my reason for why I wanted to do this in the first place again. Like really like just fall in love with things, fall in love with and passion and go through some stuff, go through some um like this just get uncomfortable, like it's so necessary to get uncomfortable at times because that's where you figure things out and that's where you grow. And I feel like I was kind of avoiding that for a long time. And finally kind of like, all right, I gotta change my habits, change the way I've been carrying myself, and just rediscover my drive, my love, my passion, and that's what this has been. It's been very necessary, and I'm glad I did that.
Were you running yourself ragged? Were you always just running and going and trying to accomplish things and do 100 things at once?
No, that's the problem. That's what I want it to be. I feel like sometimes when you in a comfortable position and you feel you get sometimes you can get to a place you just feel like you're just I wouldn't say uh coasting, but that's what it kind of feel like. You're just kind of, oh, this is working, so I'm just gonna keep doing it this way. But it's like, no, like let's try this, let's do this, let's do this. Like, but sometimes when you have that comfort, I don't know, a word to say, like a comfort blanket or something, a weighted blanket, something like that. You got to kind of go, no, I have to shed all this stuff that's making me so overly comfortable, and I got to get uncomfortable, and I got to go, like make myself, force myself, if you will, to grow, and not just be the same person for more and more years. So that makes sense. It all makes sense to me and what I feel. But it's yeah, it's very stepping into the into the unknown, but it's also that's where adventure really lies. And I said, because this also this is this is my story, my life, and so it's time to like actually start making a good story as opposed to just the same pages over and over again. If that makes sense.
Was it a decision that you had been thinking about for a while, or was it something where you're like, okay, now's the time? Because I know it wasn't you've expressed previously, it wasn't an easy decision to just pull away from that beloved General Hospital, but Was it easy, or was it something you were planning and thinking about or rolling along?
Yeah, sometimes a lot of people sometimes in those realms they talk about it. They just talk about it a lot, just so people can like. Some people they just talk about it so people could hear them talking about like, yeah, I'm thinking about this, but they never do it. But like, I knew deep down it wasn't just that I was like I've been talking about it, but that I knew that it was a necessity. And it's no, I mean, I was blessed, very blessed to be there as long as I have. But I knew that it was a necessity for me because I wasn't like, I wasn't giving what I knew I can give the last like year or two or so plus. I don't know there. But also it was just like I said, the way I was feeling made it not as difficult. And just knowing what what I know is in store for me, it made me more just like at peace with it. But you know, it's still the hardest part is walking away from someone who's been like a family to you for so long. It's like huge chunk of your life. So I knew a lot of people. I kind of grew up, you know, with a lot of people there. Um, but it's just your soul needs what it needs, you know, in your heart, you know, I know it needs what it needs, and it needed this.
You know, you never say never. You could always come back as the evil twin or the long lost brother. You know how it works with the soap operas, the daytime dramas. You know, you go off a cliff, but then all of a sudden you've had facial surgery and you're
Yeah.
back as the long lost cousin or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but yeah, that's the whole thing where yeah, the way they bring you back is so crazy. Everyone's like, "What the hell?" But then eventually they're like, "All right, well, they accept you again, and then you're back, and it's in the fold. You're in the fold again." But yeah, so you can get beheaded, you know, you can get your head cut off, and you still come back. So it's like it's a whole thing. But that's not yeah, that's I don't know about that, but yeah, I said less to having my as much time as I did have there. Yeah.